What other services might you guys offer that somebody listening might take advantage of?
We have basic grooming services from the staff, which would be bath and nails. We could also microchip your dog. If you wanted to have your dog's haircut while you're gone, we would have to schedule an appointment with our groomer, and that would be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So that's a service we can provide. We've been venturing into the training, boarding and training, which would be basic training while they're boarding. It would be like 2 weeks to 4 weeks, depending upon the package. We're building that now, actually. So, yeah, those are the two main ones right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then daycare service is the other one, too. So, we have regulars that come in typically during the week, the work week, and get dropped off at early morning. And then, at the end of the day, parents pick them up and go home, and their dog is refreshed and tired. And then your day ends nice and calm and cool, too.
Right.
This is the Buffalo Community Podcast, all about the greatest small town in the USA, the people in it, and how it all works together. Here are your hosts, Tyler Reese and Mark Benzer.
Hey everybody, it is the Buffalo Community Podcast, and we have got Ruffin Inn with us today. We've got owner Justin and general manager Thomas. Thanks for coming in. Really
thanks for having us.
I'm going to tell the short little story. My dog goes there, and I was sitting in there. We're waiting for Honey to come out, and it was you. And I'm like, gosh, we should have these guys on the podcast. Like, that'd be really fun. We're just coming back from vacation, and you go, hey, when are you going to have us on your podcast? I said, literally
Nice
just
and
thinking about that.
Yeah.
Were you reading my brain here? Like a scary place to be sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but welcome. So thank you for coming in. And
Yes.
we should probably introduce as, Justin, you are the owner.
Yeah,
of
Justin
Ruffin Inn?
Rude, owner of Ruffin Inn. Yep.
All right. And then general manager, obviously.
Yes.
Justin, let's start. How'd you come to acquire Ruffin Inn?
Yeah. So my parents had started it 2015. So that location has always been a dog boarding, pet boarding facility going back 30 years roughly. Roughly.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
A few puns in there. But from that time, it's kind of morphed. It's been a boarding location where dogs have had runs, fenced in runs at that point going back like 30 years, and it's kind of transitioned from 2015 when they took it over to a more luxury style and kind of play environment where all pets are there. Mm-hmm. And then there's been kind of the element of the rescue organizations that have been a part of it too, and that's kind of where it was founded. Was rescues were a big part of where can we house some of these rescues that my parents had been a big part of, and that location was kind of that, and it kind of morphed into, well, we have these rescues, and now it's kind of a boarding element, a daycare element too, and it kind of just grew from there, and it is what it is today. Obviously at their age and with the animal's energy and all that goes into it, I mean, there's a lot of work that comes with it too, and they were kind of looking to retire. So last year, they put it on the market for sale, and at that point, my background is, I went to Montana State, studied engineering, and kind of grew up within that, and at that point, I didn't foresee like getting into the pet industry like this, but seeing with where the business went and the energy that went into it, and just the love for animals that I've had growing up with them my entire life, and seeing the rescues and all that, trying to figure out how we can keep this thing afloat and going, and kind of made that transition last year, and with them and they're still a big part of the business today, what they're doing, but. And when you call, my dad will answer the phone too. He's a big part there in Arizona, but at times he'll pick up the phone and, hey, how's it going? So he knows a lot of the customers that are there. But just keeping that passion, the business and all that afloat, and trying to work through the staffing challenges that we've had, which is why Thomas has kind of come on in the last year too. So we've got a lot of new faces in the last year, but still keeping those core values of just a fun environment, a safe environment, mixing those two, and then continuing to drive the rescue elements of that too into the business. So that's kind of the background and where we're at today, but it's just keeping it going just like it has, but with that family-owned oriented business and continuing the passion that we have. So just amplifying it is basically where we're at today.
Good, cool. And you're running the day-to-day show.
Yeah, and I never thought I would be.
Sure.
A year ago, I was a chef at a restaurant. I had to put down my dog, and so I was without a dog. And living in an apartment that did not allow animals, I was kind of fiending for that puppy time.
Yeah.
And so I saw they were hiring part-time. And I'm like, ooh. So I applied, and a month or two went by. Kind of forgot about it. Then I got a call out of the blue and set up an interview. And in the past, I've always been against boarding facilities.
Sure.
Not a big fan of them. But I took a tour of Ruffin Inn with Justin, and I was just blown away. It was like one of the cleanest facilities I've been to. The way he presented the business, the core values that he has, everything, I was like, wow, yeah. I definitely want to work here. I don't care how much.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I started working part-time, just watching dogs, cooking in the restaurant. Slowly started transitioning, like, wait a minute. I don't like cooking as much as I like this.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, let me talk to Justin, and started working full-time and learned more and more and more, and got in touch, saw a need for a general manager, presented Justin with the plan, and we went from there.
Oh, very good.
So
That's cool.
I can tell you one of the things I really like when we drop Honey off. Honey's our dog.
Oh yeah, I know. Honey,
Yeah.
it's got to be that she's just excited when she gets in there, and it's
a
all over me.
blast.
It's just
Yes. So, like, the first time when she was there, she was at that typical, oh, it's a new place here. And when we go there and we're pulling into the driveway, it's like, it makes me sound like we drop her off all the time. Just like when we go out of town, and, you know, it's a big ask to ask your friends too. It's like, no, she's there. She can get some social skills and just be there. She loves it there.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
like, you'd think when you're dropping your kid off at daycare, they're going to cry.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I don't call my dog my kid.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
She's like, zoom, gone. She's like, are my friends here? Huh?
Yeah.
What? So, and she comes home, and she's tired. She is tired. But what my kids really love about it is your social media aspect of it, of sharing those posts and those videos, and we get to see her personality at home, and then like seeing her interact with other dogs. So
Yeah.
that's a really cool part of, we never brought dogs to, you know, facilities before. And, so that's what we really enjoy about that, and it's local, and it's convenient.
That's one of the funnest aspects of our job, is going out there, interacting with the dogs, getting video, getting photographs, presenting it online. Everybody gets to see it. People get to rest easy while they're on vacation, knowing that their dog is in good hands, obviously having a good time.
Yeah.
And that makes your vacation so much easier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Very much so. That was and I know like my kids love that, because can we see her? It's like, oh yeah, just scroll a little bit and there she is.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing that makes our day more too. Like, we'll post videos, and then you get a call the next day, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was just showing that to my kids. We were all balling, and they're like having the time of their life on the vacation." But then their vacations turn into we got to check social media every hour to see if our pet's on there. So I mean, but it does. It provides that level of relief that I know people are looking for, and there is an element of just that mental. You know, if you're on vacation, you don't want to be sitting there thinking like, "Where's my dog? Is it like tied up? Is it
right?"
And if you can have that sense of relief, it just makes your vacation all that much more enjoyable. So it's kind of the mental element of it too that we provide to the customers, as well as just the pet side of it. Of you get the social interaction, they come, they enjoy it, and dogs they don't lie. Like when they come there, if they don't like it, you bring them to the vet, they're like, I'm not going in. But you bring them, to a place they like, they're going to show you their emotions. So like we say, they don't lie.
Yeah. It reminds me of when my wife and I went on vacation for like the first time, right? And you leave the kid with grandma and grandpa, and you're on vacation, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call and see how things are going." And I'm like, I wouldn't do that, because either they're gonna lie to you and say things are great and they're going horribly, or they're gonna be honest and say things are going horrible, and what can we do about it in Florida?
Right.
Yeah.
Or things are going great, and they're going to tell you, like, what are you going to gain from? So that there is very much a peace of mind that you get of just like, dog's in good hands.
Yeah.
And I don't feel this need to like call and check in and see how things are going. It's just.
But we do get that occasional call. Like for a first timer, we'll get that call, that worried parent, which I get. Like I totally do get that, and I don't discourage that. I always tell people, send me a message, give me a call. Here's my cell phone number. If you're worried, I'll do a FaceTime with your dog if you're that worried about it.
Yeah.
And I do believe in transparency. Like I've had to make bad calls, or I've had to tell them bad answers. Like, I'm sorry, your dog is in isolation today because they had a fight in the yard.
Right.
Doesn't mean your dog's not welcome.
Right.
Doesn't mean your dog's in trouble.
Just doesn't get to be in Gen Pop.
Right. It's just a timeout. It's a hockey timeout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
2 minutes for instigating.
Yeah.
And we're going to put them aside. And
Yeah.
It's, I've had those calls and you deal with it. And I always tell them, I'm like, listen, we're always going to work them back into the group.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give up on dogs.
Yeah.
So I've had some of the most scared dogs that people would think are vicious, but they're just scared and they're reacting. But we take our time, we get them in the group, we get them socialized and turn them around. And the next thing you know, they're very excited to come the next trip.
Yeah.
So
Looks like you've got some work going on out there. Are you expanding anything? Want to share anything
we're
yet?
We're just upgrading. So the play yard that you see today, I mean, it's all pea gravel. So it all goes back to core values, like decisions that we do on a daily basis. It's all safety. It's mixing the fun. So that what you're seeing in the front yard there, that's basically a turf expansion. So we got 8,000 square feet of turf yard that'll kind of come for small dogs and big dogs. So
Cool.
It'll make all the ground just a lot cleaner. Dogs won't come back with as much dirt on them when they're digging holes.
Sure.
And so, it's just continuing to just drive what we can from a core value standpoint and continue to grow that way. So, we're looking forward to that. That should be rolled out here probably in the next couple weeks here with the small dog and big dog yards in the front yard. And then we got to get fenced. And after that, snow will be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't work too fast.
Yeah.
If that's the hinge point, don't work too fast. Tell us a little bit about yourself growing up outside of the business. And
He's almost a 99 grad.
Yeah, went to Buffalo High
almost.
School. 2000
he
grad.
always brings
So
up 99.
yeah.
So wait, are you 99 grad?
I'm a 99er.
And you?
Not-
2005.
Yeah, not even
Okay.
close.
I'm a 98er.
Okay, you're almost a 99er too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
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 So Buffalo High School, and like I said, then from there went to school in the engineering. I have a family too, that 2 kids, 6-year-old now and a 3-year-old. So that's a handful on top of the dogs that we've got too. So
Yeah.
so no, that's kind of it in a nutshell of everything. It's busy though. I'd say with the dogs on a daily basis, the kids, everyone needs attention. So
Yeah. Do you have your own dogs?
so then I've also got a rescue that actually came in from Ruffin Inn. So, at times we've got rescues that are flowing through. Typically, I'd say lately it's typically like 2 rescues that we'll have at a time that kind of need a intermediary foster that it's kind of working through. So that's what we provide, and that's kind of where that one came from. That is now in my possession as kind of a failed foster too within that. So.
Breed, what kind? Or
Well, that's what's interesting. This one is just it's a mutt of all mutts. I think it's a Shar-Pei mixed with like a Rottweiler mixed with the Border Collie Pit Bull. It's unique.
Sure. Okay. Name?
Roscoe, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good dog name. I
So,
like that.
if you see, he's typically the one at Ruffin Inn all the time too, because he spends his time there, so causing the most mischief.
Yeah.
2 minutes for instigating several times a day.
He's he puts.
But the problem is he can jump out of the penalty box.
Oh.
Yeah. So
He's figured out how to climb fences. It's not just jump fence, but scale all fences. So that's
the collie. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever we did there, we don't want to recreate this mix and keep it going. Yeah.
My cartoon bubble is very, very vibrant right now. Yeah. How about you outside of the business?
So I grew up in Los Angeles. Before getting to the dog industry, I was a documentary filmmaker and a chef. My 3 passions in life are filmmaking, cooking, and dogs. So if I could somehow make a reality show about baking dog biscuits,
Yeah.
that would just be all 3 of them all in one and be
Right.
perfect. But I never really thought I would get into the dog industry the way that I have. But this opportunity at Ruffin Inn and the growth and potential that we have and the care and passion that goes into it, it's turned my life around. So
Yeah.
Very cool. Justin, I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what amazing, whatever you want to call it, luck, blessing, to have somebody like Thomas
Oh yeah.
stumble into your world.
Yeah.
with such passion and yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, it makes a huge difference too. Yeah, I mean, even in the first interview, he's like, "Hey, I'm willing to prove my worth," and he came in just like, "I'm even gonna work. Yeah, just it'll be dirt cheap, whatever, just to show you what I'm." And that mentality too goes so far of just. I mean, it's like, well, you prove. I mean, the sky's the limit. Whatever you build it, and he's been able to come in like that and just continue just to help facilitate, especially at a time when you look at just businesses right now and just the struggle with trying to find people to fill in anything. Just so no, it's been huge, and the team too. You look at everyone across the board at Ruffin Inn. I mean, that's really what drives it, and. From my perspective, it's just really empowering, everyone to their full capability. So when you look at the social media posts, it's not just me, it's not just Thomas. Like we're a small portion of it.
Effort. Yep.
It really is a team effort, and everyone's got access to that. Everyone's posting. I mean, we're all just driving as far as we can go to our full potential. So,
because one of our core values is fun, so we're all there to have fun. We're there to make sure the dogs are having fun, and employees got to have fun too. So,
Yeah. Do you do other animals other than dogs?
Yeah, definitely. So we do have cat condos there that
Sure.
a cat atrium, which is like a bigger cell for cats where they can take a look out the window at birds. And
What is the most unique animal somebody wanted to board but you couldn't?
Let's see.
Or maybe you did do it, but
Yeah, I mean, recently we had a rabbit too. I mean, a little bit unique, but that's
Sure.
nothing too crazy.
we had a request for two. What were they? Were they gerbils or were they
It's guinea pigs, lizard every once in a while
two,
too.
Two
but-
guinea pigs.
sure.
Yeah.
Like a lizard. Like, don't they eat like once a month? Or is that snakes?
Yeah,
Like, lizards don't, just kind of, aren't they there?
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, as long as it has a feeding schedule and
Yeah.
there's a mean of like care and support, we can build it into our system because everything's like electronic. So as long as we can get whatever
Sure.
it's needed and that can be supplied, there really isn't much that we can't accommodate as long as we can kind of dedicate and set the room up.
Your website is really good. And setting up appointments and just getting everything set up I would say, if you're looking for those like popular weekends out, like make sure you're on the schedule because they do fill up.
Yeah,
which
they
is
do.
Disappointing when you're on the losing end of that schedule, but it's nice that you can schedule that all online and it's super user friendly. Stores all the information of your own pet, and I really appreciate that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's simple. So
Yeah, no, that's good to hear.
What we're talking about boarding, and we've kind of referenced it in terms of like leaving town for a week or a whole weekend. What other services might you guys offer that somebody listening might take advantage of?
We have basic grooming services from the staff, which would be bath and nails. We could also microchip your dog. If you wanted to have your dog's haircut while you're gone, we would have to schedule an appointment with our groomer, and that would be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So that's a service we can provide. We've been venturing into the training, boarding and training, which would be basic training while they're boarding. It would be like 2 weeks to 4 weeks, depending upon the package. We're building that now, actually. Those are the two main ones right now.
Yeah, and then daycare service is the other one too. So, we have regulars that come in typically during the week, the work week, and get dropped off at early morning. And then, at the end of the day, parents pick them up and go home, and their dog is refreshed and tired. And then your day ends nice and calm and cool too.
Right.
I always make the joke, like when I see people like bring their dog to daycare, like what a cool thing for them to go socialize versus just roam in the house by themselves. Is when I die, I want to come back as their dog.
Yeah.
You have put your dog up here. It's like, I want to come back as your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you go through the surveys and like, how many people don't though already assume their pet, their dog is a family member? Like, that's how they treat it. Like,
Yep.
I mean, the majority will, and that's basically how we see them too. It's just an extended family, and we treat them just like we would a kid, and like that same behavior goes into it. So
that's good. You can feel a lot of the passion behind it, and so if any one of our 250,000 viewers do want to drop them off, call early, but you guys are pretty flexible as well. I would say on those heavy holiday weekends is call early and check in.
Yeah, typically the holiday, you're probably a month out is when we're starting to get into it. So Thanksgiving's getting to be a little bit tight too, and then
Sure.
Christmas will follow up there shortly after. So
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, we've already got summer bookings going on for next year.
Yeah. As we're sitting here, I'm like, all right, I need to get that solidified. Just I don't want to miss something here.
Yeah.
yeah, and the good and the bad is, I mean, it's smaller. The size, we have an occupancy limit, so once that's hit, that's really it. And
Yeah.
you know, we're to that point where we once you get there, we're done.
Yeah.
And it keeps it you know, sized right too, because you know we implemented recently just our no collar policy, and some might think we're insane because how do you figure out which dog is which when you have 50 of them, you know, all mixed together? And
I thought the bells were just annoying. Like I was like, did she get in trouble? Like was she like just jingling too much?
No,
But okay,
no.
yeah.
No.
Expand on that. I'm curious.
well, I mean,
As-
yeah, and typically you'd think, well, no collar policy, why would you do that? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But really, when dogs are in play, the collars are just a hazard, you know, from our perspective, more than they drive any value to us whatsoever. So
Sure.
when you look at collars as potential for getting just hung up on themselves, like a jaw can get tied up, like to where that gets tongue, and then the other one's kind of in a noose at that point and locked up, and you know,
Sure.
bad
Yeah.
things can happen. So in all that, again, back to core values, like in that case, Thomas is like, yeah, let's just roll this out right now and just keep this going. It's always been something on the back of our mind. Should we do it? It was just one day, let's go. Let's just make this happen and try to figure it out and see, can we still work through it with the identification not being there?
Right.
And
like one of these dogs is yours. Can you, you know,
Well, I
you
mean-
get too, I'm sure that's never happened.
Yeah.
But I'm just
No.
joking. But that would be a
It makes
concern.
everybody kind of step up
Yeah.
as a staff. Like the first weekend that we did it, I had 73 dogs with no collars. And I was like, we really have to know our dogs. You have 4 German Shepherds out in the yard, 4 Black Labs or 4 Chocolate Labs. They all kind of look the same. You're out there,
God.
and you're like, okay, you
Gives me
start
anxiety.
You pay attention to their mannerisms. I mean, you get to know their personality, so you start to pay attention, and then, you know, you call the name, like they,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing too is parents always worry like, oh, are they going to go home with the wrong parent? I'm like, I've never seen a dog get excited to go home with a stranger ever. Like
Yeah.
they're excited to go home to their parent. They're not
Yeah.
just gonna,
Right.
yeah. But we'll never hand out a dog to the wrong person.
You're not Frank. You're not Sugar Beet.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the wrong one.
yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about cooking, being
Yeah.
a chef?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. And when did that start? Kind of where has that taken you? Some cool stories about that life.
So that one I kind of fell into by accident as well. In 2015, I was in Colorado. I just got done making a documentary film, and I was kind of at a plateau of like, okay, what do I do next? And got together with my family for Thanksgiving, and one of my cousins says, oh, you like to cook? Why don't you go to school? And I was like, oh, no, you know, I already did film school in the past. I'm never going to get approved for loans and all that. And I don't want to pay for it, yada, yada, yada. And they kept insisting, and I'm like, all right, fine. Out of spite, I literally applied
Just to shut them up.
just to shut them up. And then I got approved for all these grants and loans and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I guess I got to go.
yeah.
And so I went to the school, and like I loved it right away. Like I'd never been in a like professional kitchen. And the culinary program in Colorado Springs is really good. They have everything set up perfectly, and it's like being in a real kitchen. And I walked in there, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. And so I held a 4.0, 4 degrees. So
Very cool.
What's your?
Do you-
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you said Colorado Springs. Do they partner with like the Olympic training facilities or anything like that?
they had, yes, they do.
That's very cool.
Yep.
What's your favorite thing to prepare?
I like a lot of Italian dishes, so a lot of Italian like chicken.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't say I have an actual favorite, but one thing that I really like to make is I learned how to copy the chicken dumplings from Cracker Barrel. So I don't know. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a real nice home style cooked meal.
Yep.
Yeah. So I never go there because that's all I would ever get there. So now that I can make it at home, it's like why
Yeah.
why
Right.
pay for it in a restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that we missed about you guys, about Ruffin Inn before we close it down?
No, I think we covered a lot of good bases.
Awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, not only thank you for coming in today, but thanks for taking care of our dog and
Honey.
Honey.
Aw.
Honey. Yeah. Okay. My wife is going to give me so much crap for that. It's like, you do love her. I'm like, of course I do. You know, it's razz you a little bit when she jingles the bell. Anyway, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. For the Buffalo Community Podcast, I'm Tyler Reese.
I'm Mark Benzer.
Thomas.
We're roughing in. Justin
There
and
you go.
Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We should rehearse that someday.
Someday.
Yeah.
We should tell people it's
Thanks for the
coming.
forewarning.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Buffalo Community Podcast, produced by Edlin Media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts.